Just because he held his breath in the bathtub for 58 seconds, the boy confidently decided he wanted to compete in the Olympics. Dragging his limping legs, with a large red satchel on his back, even in the dead of night, he set out alone. His mother pretended to be surprised and asked where he was going.
Rome. I'm going to hold my breath at the Olympics.
Yet instead of scolding him, she thoughtfully told him to put all his medals in a box. But the moment the boy stepped out of the house, his mother urgently called for her husband.
He's off to the Olympics again?
Soon, Eddie limped to the bus stop, only to find his father had already been waiting there for a long time. Helpless yet skillfully, his father fabricated a lie, coaxing and tricking Eddie back home, and gave him a book titled Moments of Glory. Little did he know, this would become the thing his father regretted most in life, because ever since Eddie read that book, his Olympic dream grew like wild grass, impossible to cut down or burn away. When Eddie's leg condition fully recovered, he tried pole vaulting, hurdles, weightlifting, and hammer throw, but with no natural talent. He failed in one event after another. The box his mother had given him for medals ended up filled with one pair of broken glasses after another. One day, he suddenly wanted to try javelin, but accidentally hit the glass next to his father. His father could no longer tolerate his son's wild ideas, and ordered him to come to the construction site the next day to paint walls.
What about my Olympic preparation?
Eddie, you are not an athlete!
Thinking this would finally crush his son's dreams, it instead opened up a whole new vision for him. Seeing the ski slope next to the construction site, he was inspired to compete in the Winter Olympics. Stepping onto the skis of his dreams, he raced down the 45-degree slope. That feeling of flying gave him a direction to strive toward. From then on, the walls were covered with certificates, and the tables were filled with trophies. 12 years blew away the childishness from his face, but his dream was never carried away. Through relentless effort, he finally got the chance to try out for the national team. But in front of multiple cameras, he knocked over a row of teammates in one go. The chairman of the British Olympic Committee complimented him for causing quite a stir, and congratulated him on losing his eligibility for the tryouts. It wasn't about speed, nor was it academic prejudice.
You will never be Olympic material.
A dream he had prepared for 12 years was brutally shattered. Helpless, he followed his father and became a painter. It seemed he would compromise with reality, but the next day, ski jumping on television gave him new hope. Since he couldn't compete in slope skiing, he would take up ski jumping, and since 1929, Britain had no ski jumpers, meaning he had no domestic competition. As long as he achieved an official result in a competition, he could easily represent Britain in the Winter Olympics. Filled with excitement, he returned home, took out his recently stored skis, and told his parents about his new plan.
Plans?
What plans?
I'm going to be an Olympic ski jumper.
His parents were both happy and worried. His mother was glad he had rediscovered his dream, while his father was worried that he was going back to idling around again. But facing his confident child, he could only accept it helplessly. And so, Eddie crossed the ocean and arrived at the training ground in Germany. The ski jump here seemed taller and more dangerous than on TV, but there was no fear in his eyes, only boundless hope for his dream. But beyond the dream was the cold reality. Penniless and with no place to stay, he could only sneak into the small storage room of a restaurant to sleep. Fortunately, that kind boss lady took him in, letting him do odd jobs while leaving him time to train. At first,